Have you ever felt like the entire world has turned against you? That no one would stand up for you, defend you, or even notice your existence? That invisible weight of isolation pressing down, whispering that you are alone, powerless, insignificant. What you're about to witness will shatter every assumption you've held about power, justice, and the true source of strength. It's not about brute force luck or climbing over others. It's about an inner authority that commands respect without ever having to shout. This is a story for the chosen ones, and yes, that includes you. You listening right now are not a passive observer. You are the center of this narrative. The world might have tried to convince you otherwise through silent judgments at work, the subtle betrayals of friends, or the cold indifference of family. But what you're about to see is a revelation. The very forces that once seemed insurmountable, the bullies, the naysayers, the chorus of doubt and criticism, are on the brink of exposure. The power they wielded, the authority they borrowed from collective approval, is fragile, and you are about to see it crumble, not because of what you do externally, but because of the quiet, unwavering force of your own presence. Imagine for a moment the stress of modern life, the mounting pressure at work, the constant juggling of responsibilities, the subtle competitions and judgments that creep in at every social gathering. Everyone faces it in some form. And yet, while the world attempts to shape, limit, or define you, there exists an inner realm that cannot be touched, a sanctuary of wisdom, resilience, and unshakable identity. What if I told you that the very people who tried to control your story, who attempted to diminish your voice, are powerless the moment you claim your internal sovereignty? What if the chaos you endured, the gossip, the ridicule, the subtle manipulations, all became the forge in which your strength was created? Today, you are not just watching someone else's triumph, you are witnessing your own potential. You are about to understand that the tides of opinion, the fleeting applause of crowds, and the borrowed confidence of others can collapse entirely, leaving only the truth that your power was always yours to claim. And in this revelation, a door opens, one that connects the struggles of your past to the mastery of your present. The challenges you thought defined or confined you, they were simply preparatory, shaping the chosen one you are meant to become. This is more than a story. It is a call to recognize your own endurance, your ability to stand untouched while the world shifts around you. It is an invitation to observe the unraveling of false power, to feel the satisfaction of silent victory, and to awaken to the truth that you have always carried within. By the end of this journey, you will not only see the collapse of borrowed authority, you will understand why your presence alone commands a force no one else can manufacture. Brace yourself. Chosen one, this is not a tale of luck or circumstance. It is a revelation that turns your trials into testimony, your endurance into authority, and your presence into power that no one can take away. The story begins now. When we talk about power, most people imagine it as something loud, visible, and immediate. But here's the truth. Chosen one. The authority of those who sought to intimidate you, the bullies, the manipulators, the loud voices that once filled every room, is an illusion. Their strength was never theirs alone. It was borrowed from the crowd, amplified by the nods, whispers, and silent complicity of everyone around them. The louder they roared, the more invisible hands lifted their facade, and the more they relied on you staying small, unnoticed, or compliant. Now picture the scene, the auditorium of their influence filled with spectators whose approval once made every insult sting and every jab feel monumental. Imagine those seats slowly emptying one by one. The whispers stop, the laughter dies, the applause fades. The energy that once sustained their arrogance evaporates like mist in the morning sun. Suddenly, the bully is standing alone on the stage, and for the first time, their voice echoes into emptiness. The power they thought was unassailable collapses under the weight of its own dependency. Every cruel word they once hurled, every subtle attempt to diminish you, every orchestrated humiliation now bounces back with irony. What was meant to break you becomes irrelevant, impotent. The roles have reversed. The person who thrived on control through intimidation is now exposed, vulnerable, and fragile. The tables have turned and they feel the same isolation they tried to impose on you. The community that once shielded them has disappeared, leaving them bare like an actor performing to empty seats. This is where the quiet brilliance of being a chosen one becomes visible. You don't have to strike, retaliate, or prove anything. The collapse happens on its own, and your role is simply to observe, to witness the unraveling without lifting a finger. To see the falseness of borrowed authority stripped away, leaving only the truth. Real power comes from presence, integrity, and patience. You understand that the bully's confidence was never real. It was a reflection, a borrowed armor, a performance. And as the stage empties, the illusion vanishes. The beauty lies in the subtlety. No one applauds your victory because it isn't a performance. It's the quiet satisfaction of watching the natural order restore itself. Each time they attempt to project dominance, the emptiness of the room mirrors back their insecurity. Every puffed-up gesture, every aggressive posture, every attempt to intimidate becomes comical, hollow, or transparent. They are left with nothing but their own reflection, and it is not flattering. Now think about the psychology of it. The bully relied on validation from others to sustain their confidence. Alone, stripped of that borrowed energy, their threats lose weight, their words lose sting, and their presence loses gravity. The more they try to reconstruct their influence, the more desperate and awkward they appear. And all the while, you are standing still, unshaken, untouchable, absorbing no energy from their collapse. Because your strength was never dependent on them or the crowd in the first place. Every insult that once cut deep now lands flat. Every scheme meant to destabilize you collapses under the simple fact that you were never truly part of their world. You've built an internal fortress, resilience shaped by endurance, patience, and a refusal to bend. And now, while they scramble to reclaim a sense of authority that never belonged to them, you watch quietly, knowing that the ultimate triumph was in your steadiness all along. This reversal of power is not only satisfying, it's instructive. It teaches a lesson that transcends the immediate scenario. Real strength is invisible, sustainable, and independent of external applause. You learn that endurance outlasts intimidation, observation outmaneuvers aggression, and presence outweighs spectacle. The crowd may have amplified their influence, but your integrity never needed an audience. And as the seats remain empty, as the borrowed power dissolves, you feel the silent, unshakable victory of being the one who stood unbent, unbroken, and unmistakably whole. By the end, chosen one, the bully is no longer a threat, they are a reminder. A cautionary figure exposed for what they were, dependent, fragile, and ultimately powerless when the world no longer props them up. And you remain quiet but undeniable, the proof that true power is intrinsic, unborrowed, and eternal. Chosen one. It's time for you to understand a truth that most never realize. You do not need applause, recognition, or validation to be powerful. Your authority, your influence, and your resilience are not granted by the crowd. They are inherent, self-sustaining, and eternal. While others scramble for borrowed confidence, clinging to fleeting approval, you stand firmly in a power that is yours alone. Every betrayal you endured, every isolation you faced, every whispered rumor intended to break you, all of it was transformed into a weapon of internal strength. These challenges did not diminish you. They forged a core of resilience that no outside force can touch. Picture this: the very people who once orchestrated chaos around you, who relied on the weight of community to amplify their intimidation, now falter. Their stage is empty, their voices echo into nothing, and yet you remain. You do not lift a finger, yet the narrative bends to your will. Their downfall writes your story, not because you intervened aggressively, but because your presence alone is a force no one can control. Imagine a light in a dark theater. The bully is a flickering bulb powered by the crowd. but you are a self-illuminating flame, steady, unwavering, impossible to extinguish. This is the essence of intrinsic power. It is the kind that thrives in silence, that does not need to announce itself, and that grows stronger with observation and patience. While the world may attempt to measure influence by noise, drama, or temporary attention, true authority emerges in stillness. You observe, you wait, and you maintain control of your own center. Every reaction you withhold, every temptation to prove yourself unnecessary, every choice to rise above chaos reinforces your internal dominion. You are not reactive, you are sovereign. Consider the resilience you've built. Each act of betrayal, each social slight, each moment of loneliness or exclusion has been a brick in the foundation of your unshakable self. These experiences trained you to recognize authenticity, to discern intention, and to hold firm when everything else shifts. They taught you the quiet art of endurance, that standing still while the world trembles around you is far more powerful than any retaliation. You learned that influence is not a volume you raise, it is a depth you embody. And as the chaos around you collapses, the truth becomes clear: you were never dependent on them. But they were always dependent on the illusion of you being small. Let's make it tangible. Picture the bully, once a storm in every room, now faltering in empty spaces, their confidence evaporated with the absence of borrowed power. You are there, not reacting, not intervening, and yet the entire story bends in your favor. The collapse, the humiliation, the exposure, it all unfolds under the natural law of resilience. You didn't need to orchestrate it. Your integrity and steadiness alone guided the outcome. That is the hallmark of chosen ones. You influence without forcing, you assert without aggression, and your presence rewrites reality itself. This is also a moment of reflection. Notice how many rely on borrowed influence, masks of strength fueled by others' participation. They need the audience, the nods, the validation. You, however, operate independently. You are self-powered, self-aware, and fully anchored in your own authority. Their collapse is instructive because it illuminates the difference between temporary spectacle and permanent essence. While they needed everyone to buy into their illusion, you need no one to confirm the truth of who you are. The empowerment you feel is not loud. It is a quiet, unshakable certainty. You are the measure of integrity in a world that often confuses volume with power. You are the reflection of what real strength looks like. And the best part, this inner authority is contagious. Those who observe you, even in passing, sense it. They recognize that you are untouchable, not because you fight, not because you dominate, but because you stand firm, immovable, and luminous in your own truth. Chosen one. The lesson is simple yet profound. You too can hold steady in the storms, in the moments when the world seems aligned against you, and in the chaos of human cruelty. You can convert betrayal into wisdom, criticism into perspective, and isolation into sovereignty. Every hardship you endure strengthens the core of your being, building a power that no one else can borrow, manipulate, or diminish. You are proof that true influence is intrinsic, unwavering, and eternal. And that being the unshakable center in a collapsing world is not just possible, it is your birthright. Chosen one, now that you understand the unshakable power within you, it's time to see how this strength translates into the life you navigate every day. Every hardship you faced, every betrayal, every slight, every moment where the world seemed aligned against you was never meant to crush you. It was a forge, a training ground for the resilient spirit that you are. These experiences are not obstacles. They are tools designed to refine your focus, sharpen your perception, and elevate your influence beyond the superficial chaos that surrounds most people. Think about it, the bully's game is loud, reactive, and temporary. They thrive on drama, attention, and the fear they provoke. Their victories are visible but fleeting. They expend energy to create the illusion of dominance, relying on others to fill the empty spaces of their authority. Contrast that with the chosen one, the one who observes, who adapts, and who turns even adversity into power. You've learned to convert every challenge into a moment of revelation, every attack into a lesson, and every betrayal into an opportunity to deepen your mastery over yourself. While the world chases recognition, you build endurance. While others demand applause, you cultivate presence. Here's where the distinction becomes transformative. The chosen one does not seek validation from the crowd. Your worth is intrinsic, not borrowed from the approval or fear of others. When someone tries to manipulate, intimidate, or undermine you, it no longer shapes your reality because you understand the temporary nature of external influence. Instead, you channel your energy into growth strategy and the silent but undeniable proof of your resilience. Every act of patience, every measured response, every decision to stay aligned with your integrity accumulates into a long-term authority that no one else can replicate. Consider real-life application. In professional settings, someone may attempt to claim credit, sabotage your ideas, or dismiss your contributions. The instinct for many is reaction, defensiveness, confrontation, or proving oneself to others. But the chosen one understands that influence is cultivated, not demanded. You observe, choose your response carefully, and let your work speak for itself. Over time, consistency and integrity attract respect while theatrics fade. The very people attempting to destabilize you may appear stronger in the short term, but in the long arc, your steadiness positions you as the benchmark, the reference point, the one whose authority is silently undeniable. In personal life, challenges often come in subtler forms. Betrayal from friends, neglect from family, or social isolation. Here too, the principle holds. Each difficulty becomes a lesson in emotional mastery, teaching you how to navigate disappointment without compromising your core, how to assert boundaries without anger, and how to turn discomfort into clarity. You learn to control the only element truly under your command, your own reaction. The world will always test patience, but you are no longer a passive participant. You are a strategist, guiding your influence through calculated presence, measured words, and the quiet strength of integrity. Every confrontation, every uncomfortable moment is also an opportunity to demonstrate the power of subtle influence. When others act out of fear, envy, or impulsivity, you respond with precision and calm. They may not notice immediately, but your presence shifts dynamics. Bullies lose leverage, manipulators are exposed, and even bystanders are recalibrated. You do not need to announce your authority. It manifests naturally through consistency, insight, and quiet leadership. Others may attempt to provoke you or test your boundaries, but every measured response reinforces your reputation as someone who cannot be bent, bought, or manipulated. Let's return to the contrast. The bully expends energy, constantly reacting, striving to dominate, and burning out in pursuit of fleeting victories. The chosen one, however, invests in endurance, patience, and disciplined strategy. While the former thrives in chaos, the latter thrives in alignment, converting pressure into proof, adversity into opportunity, and observation into authority. Over time, this quiet mastery compounds into influence that is deep, authentic, and unshakable. Finally, remember that your inner power is not just about resisting negativity. It is about channeling it into transformation. Each obstacle is a stepping stone toward greater understanding. Each betrayal a mirror reflecting your true strength, and each social challenge a reminder that your value cannot be determined externally. As you navigate the pressures of career, family, and society, you carry with you the confidence that comes from surviving, observing, and mastering life on your own terms. You are not just enduring, you are expanding, evolving, and defining influence on your own powerful terms. Chosen one. The message is clear. Your challenges are not punishments. They are catalysts. Your endurance is not passive. It is active authority, and your influence does not need to be loud to be felt. It is measured in the subtle, undeniable shifts that occur whenever you enter a room. Respond with integrity or hold steady in the face of chaos. This is how obstacles become opportunities. Threats become mirrors and pressure becomes proof. You are empowered, unstoppable, and unshakably authentic, chosen one. You have walked through fire-navigated storms and endured trials that would have broken many. And yet here you stand unyielding, unshakable, and undeniably powerful. Every challenge, every betrayal, every moment of doubt or isolation has been transformed into the foundation of your inner strength. You are proof that true resilience is not constructed externally, but grows silently within, fueled by patience, insight, and unwavering integrity. The world may have tried to bend you to diminish your light, but you emerge not only intact, but luminous, an embodiment of strength that cannot be borrowed, replicated, or bought. Look around at the forces that once sought to intimidate you. The bullies, manipulators, and detractors, they crumble under the weight of their own illusions. Their power, derived from the consent and complicity of others, dissipates naturally when the support is gone. You did not need to act. The collapse was inevitable because your authority was never theirs to contest. Every act intended to harm you became a stepping stone for your mastery. Every whispered rumor, every judgment, every attempt to undermine your presence has instead magnified your credibility. This is the first lesson, chosen one. Real power is intrinsic, not dependent on approval, recognition, or fear. It is cultivated through observation, endurance, and deliberate presence. You do not need applause to validate your worth. It exists independently of any audience. Your influence manifests in subtle ways. The respect others cannot fake, the shifts in energy they cannot manipulate, the quiet acknowledgement of your steadiness in the face of chaos. The second lesson is equally profound. Every hardship, betrayal, and challenge is a tool for transformation. These experiences are not punishments. They are catalysts that shape you into a living example of resilience and integrity. When you allow adversity to refine rather than define you, it becomes a mirror of your own power. Those who attempted to diminish you now serve as reflections of what it means to endure with grace, patience, and unwavering resolve. You are no longer reacting to the world, you are sculpting it through the strength of your presence. Third, understand that authentic influence and reputation cannot be bought or faked. The world may reward spectacle, drama, or fleeting attention, but these are temporary and fragile. Your endurance, your wisdom, and your consistent alignment with your values build a legacy that lasts beyond transient approval. True authority is measured not by noise but by depth, by the invisible currents of respect and recognition that follow your actions and presence. Those who once sought to overshadow you can no longer replicate what you embody because your power originates from a place they cannot access, your inner truth. So what does this mean for you moving forward, chosen one? It means that every choice, every reaction, and every engagement can now be guided by the certainty of your inner compass. You no longer need to bend, prove yourself, or seek permission from anyone to validate your journey. Your purpose, vision, and values are enough. Stand tall, act with clarity, and influence the world through the quiet force of your integrity. The impact you create will ripple farther than any immediate recognition, shaping environments, systems, and lives with subtle but undeniable authority. And now, as this chapter draws to a close, let me remind you of the power you carry. You are a chosen one. Your survival, your endurance, and your unwavering presence are a testament to the strength that others cannot replicate. Stand up, shine your light, and allow your influence to transform the spaces around you. Remember, every challenge you've endured, every attempt to diminish you, only amplified the legacy you are building right now. If this message resonates with you, take a moment to like this video, comment your experiences, and share it to inspire others who may need to see it. Subscribe to the Chosen and Rising channel to continue uncovering the hidden power within you and those around you. Let us rise together as a community of chosen ones, proving that true strength is enduring. Integrity is invincible, and presence is the most powerful force of all. Remember, the world may shift, chaos may rise, but you remain unshakable, undeniable, and luminous. Your legacy is already written not by circumstance, but by the choices you've made, the patience you've cultivated, and the power you've claimed within. This is your truth. This is your revelation. This is your rise. Malidunmat.